Chair recognizes that the Lenore County Board of Education has established a quorum and calls the May 6, 2024 regular monthly board meeting to order. Chair recognizes Mr. Nick Harvey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let us pray. May the words spoken in this room tonight be beneficial to the students, parents, staff, and administrators in our school system. And may we be led by the guiding principle to always base our decisions on the best interests of our young people. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Harvey. Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. Standing up here, it sounds really great to hear all those young voices out there saying the pledge. Thank you. Appreciate it. Chair recognizes Mr. Brent Williams to present the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the board, it's my honor and privilege tonight to present to you for your review, consideration, and hopefully approval tonight's agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to the agenda?
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Smith. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Woods. Sorry about that, Lost. So we have a motion by Mr. Smith and a second by Mr. Woods to approve the board agenda as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 7-0. The agenda is set for tonight. Okay, at this time, we generally recognize our elected officials. And there's a lot of people here tonight, so if I miss anybody, please let me know. I do see Ms. Barbara Seaforth, who is with the Kinston City Council, and we do welcome Ms. Seaforth and thank her for
Career LCPS educator.
Do what now?
Career educator with us.
Okay, yes, and as Mr. Williams just pointed out, which I should have known, because I believe she's still working my wife, a career educator for Lenore County Public Schools. And we thank you for all your service. You see anybody else? Who now?
Diane Lynch.
Okay, so I do see someone else too. Mr. Williams is going to keep me on track tonight. There's a lot of faces out there, so it's kind of hard. Also, we do have another retired educator, an administrator with Lenore County Public Schools. Ms. Diane Lynch is with us here tonight, and I'm going to guess that she's got some grandchildren that are going to be presenting tonight. So we appreciate you coming. Thank you for coming. Hope you enjoyed the presentation. Now, is there anyone else that's either elected official or retired school personnel?
John Gaylord.
Okay.
John Gaylord. John Gaylord retired.
Oh, John Gaylord. Okay, Mr. Gaylord, I appreciate you being with us. Anybody else we can recognize? Well, we do appreciate everybody coming tonight and join in our public meeting, and also to witness all the great things that are going in Lenore County Public Schools and see all these kids and all the great things they're doing, hear about the things they're doing. I do have some comments I would like to make. I'll try to be brief. We have a full agenda for tonight's meeting. I would ask that each board member have their questions and comments ready for our presenters and request to be recognized. This will help facilitate for an orderly, efficient, effective, and timely meeting. May the 6th through the 10th, 2024 is National School Staff Appreciation Week. We want to continue to thank all Lenore County Public School employees for their outstanding dedication, commitment, and hard work to ensure all Lenore County Public School students are successful as possible. I personally witnessed this outstanding dedication, commitment, and hard work this past week while attending the Child Nutrition and Administrative Year Celebration. We truly have exceptional people who work for the Lenore County Public School System and care about our young people. Thank you. We want to continue to commit to providing for a safe and healthy environment for all our students, employees, and our community. And as always, Mr. Williams will share some more good news about Lenore County Public School students and staff. And with that, Chair recognizes Mr. Brent Williams.
A lot of great news tonight, Mr.
To
Chairman.
present the
Thank you.
honors, recognitions, and accomplishments.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As Chairman noted, it is National Teacher Appreciation Week, and in Lenore County, we celebrate that, and National School Staff Appreciation Week. We try to celebrate everyone during this week and just let them know how much we appreciate what they're doing. Our school principals, our directors, our PTA leadership teams have so many wonderful things planned this week to celebrate Teacher Appreciation Week and Staff Appreciation Week, but I wanted to pause tonight and just say to our outstanding teachers, the most significant factor in teaching and learning, every bit of research I've ever seen has shown that it's that high-quality teacher in the classroom working with those kids every day. So our teachers really are at the core of what we're doing, and all of our staff members, because it takes all of us, whatever your role serving in the school system. We appreciate you, and we endeavor not only this week, but also every week to show you how much we care about you. We appreciate what you're doing. Your service to your school, to this school system, and to the young people that we're all so richly blessed to serve. You are a blessing to them and to this community, and we appreciate you. And my challenge to you tonight, or my request, if you're so inclined, I hope you are, is to reach out to the special teachers in your life, the teachers that you're close to, related to, that have helped your child, or maybe that it's a family member. Reach out to them if they've touched your life in any way and let them know. Pay that forward. Let them know how they've invested in you or your child or our school system, that you appreciate their service during this week and every week. So let us endeavor to do that. Thank you for that. Tonight it is my honor to recognize and honor several of our young people. If you leave this recognition section in the board meeting, this is by far, no offense to the rest of our agenda, this is my favorite part tonight, the student recognitions and staff recognitions. If you leave this part and you're not impressed by these young people, if you leave this section and you don't see that our future is bright in their hands, then maybe you're not paying close attention, because they are great, and you'll see that tonight. I think you'll be dazzled, as they say, wowed by them. 6 of our high school students already have an interesting summer mapped out for them. They will be attending the North Carolina Governor's School, the highly selective residential program for academically or intellectually gifted high school students. North Lenore High School students selected are, and I'll read the names. We have from North Lenore High School and from Early College High School students, and I'll ask you students, when your name is called, if you will come up here, and we'll applaud for each as they're coming forward. And I'd like for their parents or loved ones who are here with them tonight to stand too, because you're just as much a part of it as they are, and they're away for a few weeks this summer. My son did it. It was one of the greatest things he's ever done in school. This is a huge accomplishment for these young people, and it will be life-changing for them. So when their names are called, I'd like young people, you to come to the front, and then I'll give you a chance. We have a certificate for you, and we're going to take, Mr. Holmes will take a photograph, and I'll give you a chance to share something with us. Okay? All right. Students selected are Egan Ballard, attending in social science, North Lenore High School. Kayla Britt. Egan, please stand up here. Also from North Lenore, Kayla Britt, attending in English. Lillian Doughty, North Lenore, and Madeline Gilmore, both attending in dance. And Hayden Hall, attending in theater. Mackenzie Hood of Lenore County Early College High School has been accepted to study in mathematics. The North Carolina Governor's School accepts about 650 students each year from more than 1,800 applications. They have an East Campus and a West Campus. Since 2022, LCPS has sent 17 students to the Governor's School in both academics and the arts. We are very proud of this year's group for this continuing success. We're going to come around there and join you young people. I'll ask the chair to join me. Okay, now the hard part. That was the easy part. The hard part. Told you I might put you on the spot. Somebody thought I was kidding before the meeting started. I said I was going to put them on the spot. This is your opportunity. We just have a quick second because we've got a packed agenda. But I wanted to give you a chance to tell the folks one thing that you're hoping to get from governor's school, or if you don't have that idea in your head yet, one thing that you're involved in now, what you like to do, what your activities are.
I'm just excited to meet new people from all over North Carolina.
Absolutely.
My discipline is theater, and I'm excited to see a new spin-off, see how other people do it.
That's great. If you haven't seen him in the productions out in Northern or he's great. He's a natural at that. Great job. Matt?
My name is Madeline, and my discipline is theater. I mean, not theater.
She was practicing the theater part.
My discipline is dance, and I'm really excited to meet other people from around North Carolina that share my same passion.
My name is Lily, and my is also dance, and I'm excited to dive into dance and learn more about it.
My name is Kayla Britt. My discipline is English. I think I'm most excited to learn more about myself throughout this experience.
My name is Eden Ballard. My discipline is social science. I think I'm interested to go and kind of learn about other people's ideas and broaden my prospects in that, and also kind of get a taste of what college life is like.
Outstanding. And it does that. They stay on college campuses, and if they're in the same places they've been in Raleigh and Winston-Salem, East Campus and West Campus. They stay for about 5 weeks. It's a great residential program, and it is very, very much like the college experience. You move them into the dorms, and you move them out. So it's great. It's a great job with young people. Let's give them a round of applause.
We'll go about 2 steps back. Now you got it. Perfect. Okay. On good. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. There you go. Thank you.
Lenoir County Early College High School senior Shemaiah Hall is the winner of the Cheatham White Scholarship to North Carolina A&T State University. The 4-year scholarship covers student fees, housing, meals, textbooks, a laptop, supplies, travel, and personal expenses. It also provides 4 summers of fully funded enrichment and networking opportunities, which may include international travel and study. The university names about 20 Cheatham White scholars a year. On Wednesday evening, Shemaiah will receive a high school diploma from Early College. The next night, on Thursday evening, she will be one of several Lenoir County Public School students awarded an Associate of Science degree from Lenoir Community College. These are all stepping stones on her journey toward a biology major and a career in medicine. Now, this is a full scholarship, an academic scholarship. I've had some people over time say, well, how are those? Are those needs-based? No, that's full academics right there, and that's one of the biggest scholarships in North Carolina and among the top in the nation. Let's give her a round of applause. I had the pleasure of going out to Early College High School the other day for college signing day. They do was wonderful, just like athletics, when we're signing. I'm taking my talents to the University of, and they did a great job. And she received a couple of awards and recognitions there. Would you like to tell us something about what you'd like to do? We heard about your career aspirations there, but anything else that we might like to know?
Yeah, I want to pursue a career in pediatrics and hope to open my own pediatric firm and just give back to the people who gave me. That's ultimately my goal.
My student video, and each of them does a short video. It's very impressive to hear these young people talk. There's no filler language, former English teacher, and he loves that. And they just speak fluently and just speak from the heart and with passion and conviction. But they speak about the right things, teaching and learning and respecting their teachers and others. Want to share anything about your the school and what Lenoir County Early College High School, because that started as an experiment many years ago, and it's certainly grown into its own. It's one of the best types of school situations I've ever seen.
Early college is unlike any other school. Early college is actually a home, it's actually a family. Although I would go to like the college portion of it, I always know that I could go back home and that's my home base. And I can go back to the people who started this and created this whole pathway for me to be just where I am today.
Okay. Mr. Sam Matt, I see the principal's here. He'll join us in the chair. Will we get a deal if we take our children in eating after? We need that deal.
All right, over. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2. Thank you.
In April, the Greenhouse Scholars Program named 2 winners in North Carolina for its unique privately funded scholarship. One of these students, Kiana Kelly of Kinston High School, the Greenhouse emphasizes leadership potential and community involvement in its selection process. Kiana checked all of the boxes: principal's list student, the starting point guard on the women's basketball team for 4 years, vice president of Kinston High School's Anchor Club, a service organization, and secretary of the school's chapter of the National Honor Society, a member of this year's Chick-fil-A Leader Academy class, a delegate to the Rotary Youth Leadership Summit, creator of free weekend basketball camps for girls, and an organizer of financial, listen to that folks, you don't see that very often, financial training for her classmates through the State Employees Credit Union. She also works an after-school job. Busy young lady. Let's congratulate her. Now, how did that financial training work out? Were they receptive to it?
We haven't actually done it yet. Just organizing it.
Plans are in place, right? Okay. You know, when you finish college, what would you like to do to contribute to the world?
I want to be a police officer. We're all going to be a police officer.
You guys hear that? Police officer in service. Great. You should also work your way up and become a congratulations. Did you organize a police officer basketball game?
What was it?
Miss Bryant, I think it's here.
Okay, over. 1, 2, 1 more. 1, 2. Thank you.
Grady, we recognized him at a previous board meeting for another honor and another full scholarship. But JVR Grady, among a Kinston High School senior, has added to his scholarship awards by being named a North Carolina Teaching Fellow. In March, JVR was chosen to receive the February 1 scholarship, a full-ride merit scholarship awarded to just 15 students annually. In April, he was named a North Carolina Teaching Fellow, a program that provides college financial aid to select group of students planning to become teachers in North Carolina. JVR's goal is to become an elementary school music teacher. Our goal is to hire him. That's what I said. Hire him. So JVR and I were talking. He did a video. If you've seen the WITN, they used to do best of the class this year. They have a video series, and I saw his video come up. I called his principal. I said, "What? Bro, this guy's been holding down on me." He had his goals up there. He said he wants to become a teacher, and then he says he wants to teach for a few years, and then tell him what you said you wanted to do. It warmed my heart.
I want to become an administrator.
Yeah.
That's it. All right, Miss Brian.
I want to be like this boy.
Okay, roll 3. 1, 2, 1 more. 1,
play?
It's over. Susan.
Tuba and sousaphone. And his band director told me he is like a student director. So congratulations to you. Dakota Tyndall of South Lenore High School, who plans to become a pharmacist, has had her eye on Campbell University for quite a while. Campbell has returned the favor by awarding her 2 scholarships, the Scott Ellis Scholarship and the J.A. Campbell Scholarship, valued together at $34,000 a year for 4 years. After completing her high school requirements by the end of her sophomore year and completing college-level courses at Lenore Community College for the past 2 years, Dakota is on a fast track. She will enter Campbell University as a junior academically and will complete her undergraduate work in just 1 year. She will enroll in Campbell School of Pharmacy after that, and after 4 years of study, she expects to earn a Doctor of Pharmacy degree by the time she's 23 years old. So, Dakota. Dakota couldn't make it tonight, but if you see her, congratulate her, and we are likely to have her at a future board meeting. So, congrats to Dakota. Okay. Mason Jones of South Lenore High School has developed a reputation as an amazing artist, and now he has awards to show for it. Mason's paintings of a young girl embracing a military gravestone was the top entry in the contest sponsored by the Veterans of Foreign Wars and qualified Mason for a $15,000 award from the state VFW. And if you don't know Mason, Mason is one of the most talented student artists I've ever seen. His work is truly amazing. If you went to Kinston High School to the Performing Arts Center to see, we had the Arts in Our Schools month. We had an art show, a couple art shows actually, and we had it up during All County Band and All County Chorus Days. And his work is amazing. I've talked to him. He's a very humble young man, and he said, well, it's not that big a deal. No, it's a very big deal. He is. It looks like one of the works of the great masters that he produces, and he can do the landscapes and the faces. And I'm told by artists that's a difficult thing to pull off. So, congratulations. Congratulations, proud of you. So, Mason, what would you like to say to the folks about your artwork and what it's meant in your life or your time at South Lenore High School?
Sure. Well, it's just another way of expression. Whether it be through music or any hobby you have, art just happens to be mine. So,
absolutely, you do a great job with it. Is there a favorite thing that you think that you enjoy?
I like doing seascapes. Portraits are very personal. I like doing those. Just anything would be pretty good.
Before this young man graduates, I want to commission a work of art. We're going to hang it down. He is great. I asked him to give us a deal on it.
No charge.
All right. Now remember, at our school board meetings, we don't celebrate, we have our schools celebrate local winners. Only recognize regional, state, and national winners. That's significant that we would have this many at a single board meeting. And we had some last month, and we'll have some next month. That's a credit on this National School Staff Appreciation Week. It's a credit to our teachers and other staff members and what they're doing with our kids every day. So that's more and more evidence right there. I hope you don't need evidence, but if you do, it's there for you. All right, students from E.B. Frink Middle School made their own history with entries from National History Day, regional competition at East Carolina University. Ava Dawson placed third in the individual exhibit category. Dylan Grantham and Cody Mason placed third in the group exhibit category. Caitlin Hardis and Miley Coronado Contreras, Tanner Powell, and Barrett Boyles placed third in the group documentary category. All of them will advance to the state competition from the regionals later this month in Greensboro. Best of luck to them and their coach, Frink history teacher, Mr. Chadwick Stokes, and also Principal Dr. Michael Moon is here. So Dr. Moon, if you come forward. Caitlin? All right, Caitlin, congratulations. Proud of you. Miley? Cody? Cody? Congratulations, Cody. Proud of you. And Sir Dylan? Congratulations, proud of you. Well, Mr. Stokes, I know you probably like to share something. We give you a moment, but we really want to hear first from the young people. I started to say children, but I realize it's middle school. I say you young people now, because they're growing up, right? So, what has participating in this, winning this regional event, going to the state competition, what has that meant to you? Would anyone like to share? Yes, sir.
It's meant a lot. It's showed that our hard work's paid off. We've been working on this project since October.
Okay. What would you say to next year's group if they want to do a similar project? Did you learn anything, any revelation?
This is, you gotta work hard to get your goals done, and then they should be able to.
That's good.
Outstanding. That's great advice. Mr. Stokes, what would you say?
We always just say it's a testament to what he was saying about their hard work and perseverance. It's a big project, and they worked hard on it for several months and got a lot out of it. We're very proud of them.
So when these guys win at the state competition, we're going to bring them back to that celebration too. Let's give them a round of applause.
Okay, go for it. 1, 2, 1 more. There you go. Thank you.
There you go. LCPS students made their mark in the annual North Carolina Farm to School Calendar Art Contest. Recognized by the North Carolina Department of Agriculture were finalist Caroline Lynch of Moss Hill Elementary, kindergarten, great job Caroline, kindergarten honorable mentions Carrington Hardison and Stetson Melvin of Moss Hill Elementary School. And 5th grade honorable mentions, Kada Griffin and Yemi De Leon Lopez of Banks Elementary School. The contest drew more than 3,600 entries from 56 counties. Winners and finalists will be featured in the 2024-2025 calendar and on the NC Department of Agriculture website. Honorable mentions will be featured on the website as well. Let's give these children a round of applause. Would anyone like to share what this, participating in this meant to you? Was it hard to do? Was it easy? Was it what you thought it would be? Anyone? Any volunteers? Okay. Anyone? What advice, let me try to help you. What advice would you give to your classmates who might want to do this? What should they do? If they were going to do a project like this next year, what should they do? How can I look at it? Should I get on the internet? Well, would you do it differently if you did it again? Maybe. Moss Hill's principal is here, and I believe we have Banks. Dr. Heather Lancaster is here, and Mr. Jeremy Barnett is here.
Stand in the back. Okay. ready? Hold your certificate, sorry. There you go. All right, now we're ready. On three. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2.
I don't think at their age I would have even been comfortable walking up there. These kids are amazing. They're great. North Lenore High School's FCCLA, for those of us who go back a ways, that used to be Home Economics, Family and Consumer Sciences now. Chapter is the winner of the organization's National Runner-Up Community Service Award. The award recognizes the chapter's support for the Ronald McDonald House in Greenville. As a national runner-up, the North Carolina FCCLA chapter will receive $500 award and will be recognized at the 2024 FCCLA National Leadership Conference that begins June 29th in Seattle, Washington. Chapter advisors are Brianna Baker, Sarah Casey, Teresa Harper. FCCLA, or Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, is a career and technical education organization, student organization with a central focus on careers and supporting families. North Lenore and fellow FCCLA chapters at Kinston High School brought home a number of recognitions from the State Leadership Conference held recently in Greensboro. Mirka Rojas Batten, representing North Lenore chapter in FCCLA's District 2, was named the 2024-2025 Vice President of Public Relations for the state. Kinston High School, with its chapter established this school year, earned the Financial Fitness Award for its Snack Pack Attack fundraiser. South Lenore's FCCLA, with another new chapter, earned the Career Connection Award for the Black History Month project related to the impact African Americans have made in the food industry, and Financial Fitness Award for its cupcake fundraiser. South Lenore Junior Jada Kalog placed third in Level 3 Career Connection and $3,000 scholarship from Sullivan University. So I think instead of bringing all FCCLA chapters up at one time, we're going to bring them by school. So we'll begin with, we'll begin with North Lenore's chapter. So North Lenore, Ms. Green, if you'd come up, and your chapter advisors, the 3 advisors are here, if you would come up. Now, if the advisors would share with us while I'm presenting the certificates, if you would share with us the awards that these young people have earned and what you're expecting next from them.
Okay, so we have, the students have earned the Power of One. They have, the Power of One is actually when they do individual goals for themselves, the individual goals. We also earned the Financial Fitness for a fundraiser. The one today that we are being recognized for is the Community Service Award with Ronald McDonald House. And we have honestly done the 6 out of 8 awards for FCCLA this year. So we're really excited for our chapter and excited for Mirka to be our state officer. This is our current president and our secretary, so we are just excited to be here.
Would the newly minted officer or the president, would you guys like to share anything? Because we have the chapter recognition here. We heard from your advisor. Would you guys like to share? Okay.
Very well. I'm so thankful to become a state officer for FCCLA and being able to meet new people in Seattle, Washington, National Leadership Conference, and being able to implement my leadership skills over there and become a better person as a state officer.
Outstanding. Okay, this is the presentation. Mirka. Congratulations to her. And you want to share Mirka's accomplishments?
Oh, she is going to be the Vice President of Public Relations for the State Officer Board, so she'll be the one putting out all the newsletters and social media posts.
That's a lot of work. Great job.
Okay. Let's go. All right, ready? Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 1 more. 1, 2. Thank you.
the advisors will share, please, with us about going to the competition, and just as you heard the North of the chapter advisor share, what you expect next from this group.
Of course, this was our first year starting of our chapter at South Lenore. Myself and Ms. Strickland, we kind of went in kind of blindsided a little bit. We was kind of pushed into it, but we're glad that we did it. Jada, she did place third in Career Connection. She did work on her program, was on a social work. We also obtained the silver level award for membership, because we have over 15 members for this school season. And then, of course, the financial fitness, where we did, we actually did 2 fundraisers. I know Banks said cupcakes, but we made Danish. They were very good. They were very good. We had a couple different flavors. And then, of course, the Black History Food Project, where we wanted to recognize what Black history, as far as African Americans did, as far as the food and nutrition industry.
Outstanding. And Jada, I'll present this to you for the chapter award. And Jada, congratulations to you. And what would you like to say to the folks about that state level award?
It was very difficult. I put it together in a week, and I still have about third place.
So what advice would you give to yourself or others if they were to do the same thing?
Start earlier.
All right, let's give it a
Thank you.
Good job.
The high school chapter, Ms. Bryant, and advisor. How are you doing? So, as advisor, you heard the other 2 sets of advisors. What would you say about what these kids have accomplished and what you're expecting next from the chapter?
Well, our chapter is just newly reinstated. We got off to a not a good start, because we started kind of late, but we will be competing next year in the competition. But I'm very proud of the progress that we made, the recruitment that we have. So this year we have basically wanted to recruit. And this is one of our recruits.
So what will your recruiting message to the folks?
I feel like as a community, especially at our schools,
It's a great message. Good. All right, so on behalf of the chapter, the advisor presented to you, great job, and congratulations to you, and good luck with that recruit. Let's give them a round of applause.
Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 1 more. 1. There you go. Thank you.
North Carolina leads the nation in the number of National Board certified teachers, and this school year 5 LCPS educators added their name to that list. This is a very long and arduous process. Congratulations to our newly minted National Board certified teachers, and I'll ask them to come forward, and we have a certificate for you. Caroline Casey of Southwood Elementary School, Dr. Travis Town of Lenore County Early College High School, Ashley Holland of North Lenore High School, Jennifer Fulcher and Margot Harper of South Lenore High School. Achieving National Board certification is a long and difficult task, but one that lifts those who attain it to the pinnacle of the teaching profession for K-12 educators. About 20 National Board certified teachers currently work in our district, and another 16 LCPS teachers are currently pursuing their certification. Let's give them a round of applause. Great work. Great work. Great work. Ladies, what would y'all say to folks about how difficult this has been? You want to give up sometimes, maybe? No, no. Easy peasy.
I just want to give a shout out to my husband, it would not have been possible without him picking up the slack, and for my 11-year-old being understanding when Mama couldn't necessarily do what he wanted Mama to do.
I guess I'm shouting out Jennifer Sutton because she was like my crutch in my personal schoolwork, so I couldn't have done it without her.
Okay, if their principals are here, if they come up and join in the photographs, would you like to share anything?
I would say the same thing. My family, my friends, and also fruit gummies.
Food gummies and perseverance. There you go. That's a recipe for success, I think.
Close enough. All right, one, three. One, two, one more. One, two. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of our honorees tonight. We also have, and we'll bring these students in at future board meetings, track and field athletes from our 4 middle schools topped a bevy of awards and honors from the middle school. Now remember, our kids could not have achieved this a few years ago because we didn't have middle school track and field. But awards from the middle school state meets held Friday in Charlotte with the meet record and nationally recognized performances. You did hear that right, national recognition for some of our children. The girls 4x100 meter relay from Contentnia Savannah K-8 school set a state record on its way to winning the state championship. The girls 4x200 relay team from CSS took place second place in the state. Running for both teams were Cassidy Frazier, McCabery Braswell, Asia Clark Lanier, Kalasia Ingram. Cassidy sprinted to place finishes in both the 100-meter and 200-meter dash, and in doing so, posted the 3rd fastest time in the nation in the 100 and 4th fastest in the nation in the 200. Other top performances at the state meet were from CSS, Jalen Woot in 2nd place, high jump. Kennedy Starkey, 6th place, high jump. From E.B. Frank Middle School, Naoma Lanier, 2nd place, 100-meter hurdles. Janiyah Outlaw, 4th place, long jump. Donovan Ingram, 2nd place, 300-meter hurdle. From Rochelle, Aaliyah Grotini, 5th place, 400-meter dash. Girls 4x100 race relay team of Savia Stanley, Aaliyah Gratonini, Kalisa Surratt, and Jasmine Pryor, 4th place. Jariana Edwards, 3rd place. Shot put boys 4x100 relay team of Jaquel Edwards, Gabriel Flowers, Keyshawn Moore, Mizian Gooding, 7th place. From Woodington girls 4x800 relay team of Skylar Day, Evelyn Garcia, Valerie Valdiva, and Neva Ibarra, 8th place. Boys 4x100 relay team of Yael Ramirez, Rico, John Jones, Marco Millerand, Jameson Gautier, 4th place. Jameson Gautier, 5th place. Long jump, Eric Fields, 7th place. Shot put. 31 schools qualified athletes for the state meet. In the girls division, Contentnia Savannah finished 5th, Shell 8th, Woodington 15th, Frank 16th. In the boys division, Woodington finished 16th, Contentnia Savannah 21st, E.B. Frank 21st, and Rochelle 29th. And that's very impressive if you look at where these track programs have come in their new years of existence. These are impressive results. It didn't exist a few years ago. Congratulations to all of our competitors. Mr. Chairman, that concludes my report. I told you I thought you would be impressed, and I think that you have been. If you haven't, let's talk later, because I can't believe it.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Any questions for Mr. Williams? Any comments? Okay, I've said this before, and we'll say it again, and hopefully, I know I'm going to keep saying it. just more examples of the amazing things that are happening in Lenore County Public Schools. I'm with Mr. Williams. If you come away here tonight and you don't feel proud of this community, this school system, these kids, I don't know what else we could do, because these kids are just outstanding. All right, let's see, and we do have someone who has signed up for public comment. And before I call Mr. John Wilson, as a reminder to all, per board policy, comments are to be limited to 3 minutes per person. No one would be allowed to be heard in open session regarding student or employee matters. Board members will not respond to individuals who address the board except to request clarification of points made. So Mr. John Wilson. Oh. Yeah, you'll come up to the, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Congratulations on y'all week.
Before we get started, I neglect to say, the lawyer, Mr. Mitchell, will keep time.
All right, that's cool. I see it's a lot of great things going on in the school. Congratulations to everybody that received the award today. And but my question had to do with if anything is being implemented or looked into concerning defenses from bullying, fighting, and harassment, considering the Lenore County Public School has a zero tolerance policy. I understand the goals and mission statements of Lenore County Public School, with one being to provide a positive, safe, and healthy learning environment. But what happens when that fails, considering North Carolina is a stand-your-ground state? That's my question.
Who do we need to direct that to?
Well, they just, your policy is that you don't answer questions. Adam can clarify.
Yeah, typically, the board doesn't respond to
Right,
questions, so
right.
the
As
board
I
can
said.
take that under advisement.
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to voice my concern on that, to see if there's anything y'all could do to look into that, to look into them matters, considering that.
Okay, we'll have the superintendent central office take a look at that.
All right, thank you.
All right,
have
thank
fun.
you.
Looking forward to hearing from you guys.
And we want to thank all our stakeholders for their time, interest, concerns, and comments pertaining to the Lenore County Public School System. Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Okay. We will now move to the presentation portion of the agenda. Chair recognizes Mrs. Melissa Lynch to introduce a digital learning showcase.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mr. Chairman, board members, and superintendents, I'm pleased tonight to have Banks Elementary School with us. We have their digital learning specialist, Mrs. Reese, and she's brought with us 3 students that are going to share a little bit about how they use their devices in school and the participation they had in a digital learning day competition.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hello. My name is Austin Reese. I'm the digital learning specialist at Banks Elementary School. Today I have with me Tamarion Taft, Arise Wilson, and McKenna Long. These students recently competed in a digital learning day competition where they were able to showcase their learning for all the digital learning that we do in Lenore County.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is McKenna Long. I'm a 4th grade student at Banks Elementary School. I used block coding to code my digital learning project, and I came in first place.
Hello, my name is Tamarion Taft. I am a 4th grade student at Banks Elementary School. I like playing basketball and learning more about technology. I came 2nd place in the digital learning competition.
Hello, my name is Arise Wilson. I'm a 3rd grade student at Banks Elementary School. I use Applebee's every week in my classroom, and I came 3rd place in the Banks digital learning competition.
I'm going to be showing you their presentations that were created, and we do have their teachers here tonight. We have Mrs. Towery here, who is our curriculum specialist and Tamarion's reading teacher. We have Ms. Sotero here, who is Arise's 3rd grade teacher as well. The first project we will be seeing is Arise's project. Arise showcased the use of Apple pencils in her classroom every week. Ms. Otero is a pioneer for digital learning, and the use of Apple Pencils is seen daily in their classrooms. Arise has been able to use her Apple Pencils for all kinds of learning this year in 3rd grade. The second project we will see is from Tamarion in his 4th grade project, which came in 2nd place in the competition.
That was a little real world everyday school right there, right?
He said we should cut that out. I said, let's leave it so they can see what we experience every day. So Tamarion has gone through and talked about what he has done in each of his core subjects. We also have Mr. Fields, better known as Coach Mike here, who has been helping in his classroom all year. He's discussed what he has done in his specials classes and added enhancements on each of these with his multimedia images along with text. He's gone through each slide to add different enhancements on each one, and all of the students did all of this by themselves with very little help from their teachers. And our last project is from McKenna. She goes through the different things that we can use in the classroom and outside of the classroom for digital learning. And she will tell you all about her project.
Hello and welcome to NTWE. NTWE is a social learning platform for kids. Today we're talking about digital learning. We'll start with Seesaw. Seesaw is like a digital classroom. Seesaw sorts your assignments and journal activities and notifications. The journal shows assignments you have done. Activity shows items you need to do. Notification shows items sent back in class news. Next is Ed. Ed is an app a lot like Seesaw, but it also assigns its own items. Ed can also act like an online portal. An online portal is a website/app to help you get to different apps easily. The best part is that it never runs out. Next, Study Island. This is Study Island. Study Island is a lot like Ed. It also assigns its own assessments. It also has a game mode for people who have passed assignments. Next up, Clever. Remember we were talking about online portals? Clever is a giant online portal. Clever organizes the apps into categories of teachers. Let's do SchoolNet. SchoolNet helps teachers give digital tests. To take a test, you type in the code. It will say how many test questions there are when you start the test. When you finish, it says if you missed questions or not. Next, Bookit. Bookit is a fun way to study. A teacher can host a game. There are many different game modes with Bookit. Next should be Quizlet. Quizlet is also a way to study. Teachers can assign quizzes. Quizlet is an easy way for students to study. Quizlet lets you study in many different ways. How about Quizzes? Quizzes is a fun way to study. A teacher can host a game and you join. Quizzes is much game modes as a book, but it's still so much fun. Tinker! Tinker is a coding app. To see your projects, you press projects. To make a project, press workshop. To see what other people made, press community. Let's do Epic. Epic is a reading app. Epic has many books. Epic is not like a library, so there are infinite books to choose from. Epic has levels when you read. When you complete levels, you unlock profile avatars. Sora time! Sora is like a library. If you want a book, but it's already borrowed, you can load a book. Special thanks to Miss Sutherland, Mom, Dad, and Mrs. Reese.
Using a paper and pencil is no fun.
Good thing I have
My iPad to use.
iPads give you direct access to the internet for educational games. The iPad can read out loud to you if you are having difficulties with reading.
You have access to many apps on your iPad at school for you to use. iPads give immediate feedback from me and other students. For example, when using Study Island and you get the question wrong, Study Island will provide an example to help you get your question.
Using the iPad is beneficial for all students. Thank you, Lenore County, for giving us these iPads.
Good job.
Wow. Oh, wow. Well, guys, you had no way of knowing it, but that's a great night for your presentation to fall because the board has a big decision about iPads tonight. Hopefully, it'll be an easy decision for them, but that is great. I promise you had nothing to do with that. That was amazing. Great job. So, McKenna, Tamarion, Aris, great job. I'm so proud of you. Dr. Lancaster, Ms. Reese, Ms. Otero, Ms. Towery, great job working with these young people. You have another example right there of what we said earlier of just the greatness of our youth and our futures in bright hands with them. I would dare say you guys did such an amazing job. If we gave some of the folks up here, well, they're my bosses, I better not say that. If we gave some of the folks out there and yours truly that quiz, we might not pass, right? You guys are amazing. Let's give them another round of applause. See if the board members have any questions.
Thank you. Yeah, are there any questions for Mrs. Lynch, Mrs. Reese, Mrs. Tyra, Citro? Any questions, any comments?
Great job.
Okay, thank
Fantastic.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, guys.
Thank you. And I said it before, and I'm going to say it again, another example of how digital learning is helping our students to be successful. Now, when we do student achievement, student recognition, that is a highlight for me. But when these young people come before us and present these digital learning checklists, it is definitely a highlight. Thank you again. Our chair recognizes Mrs. Frances Herring to present a summary of recent district-wide instructional programs and events.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. I'm here to share with you district-wide programming from the spring of 2024. On Tuesday, April 23rd, at the Lenore County Fairgrounds, over 40 community partners joined us for all of our fourth graders to learn and experience new careers. And you can see from the pictures above, we had a wide range of jobs for them to learn from. Wednesday, April 17th, our local and regional industry and manufacturing partners provided hands-on opportunities for our high school students to learn about industry and manufacturing jobs right in their backyard. Students visited the AAMC and the Global Trans Park, FRC East, Crown Equipment, and Lions Industries for the Blind.
And that's the Aerospace Manufacturing Center out at GTP.
Friday, March 22nd was the elementary Battle of the Books hosted at LCC, and you see the Moss Hill winners there. And on Wednesday, March 6th, the middle school and high school Battle of the Books competed, and they were hosted at the Performing Arts Center at Kinston High School. Moss Hill won for the elementary Battle of the Books, Woodington won for the middle school Battle of the Books, and South Lenore won for the high school Battle of the Books. Saturday, March 16th, we hosted the Elementary Science Olympiad at Contentnia Savannah School. All 9 elementary schools participated, and there was great learning and fun had by all.
The 2 questionable folks in the corner over here.
Yes,
Yeah,
right here.
that's right.
Yeah. We were ringing the gong. That's about the only thing we're good for. So it was fun. We had a great time. Tuesday, April 9th, at the Kinston Community Center, Lenore County Public Schools hosted the Gifted Gala. Students from all of our schools showcased their talents, experiments, and entrepreneurial spirit. It truly was a great night. Friday, April 12th, at the Kinston High School football and track field, all 17 schools participated in opening ceremonies of the Special Olympics, lighting of the torch, and the opening parade. We partnered with the Kinston-Lenore County Parks and Rec Department to put on a great day of competition. It was really very special. EC Awards celebration was held Tuesday, March 26th at the Kinston High School Performing Arts Center. All 17 schools celebrated their EC students who had met goals and were exhibiting great learning objectives. It was a meaningful night of entertainment and recognition. Tuesday, April 30th, the EC department hosted its annual Autism Awareness Fair right here in our boardroom. Parents and community members were invited to learn all about resources and support. April 16th, we hosted the annual Teacher of the Year banquet. Our 3 finalists spoke to the huge crowd that had gathered at the Shrine Club. Once all 18 Teacher of the Year winners were recognized, the winner of the 2024-2025 Teacher of the Year was announced. Congratulations go to Miss Erin Green from Northwest Elementary School. And finally, this past Friday, May 3rd, our graduating seniors visited their elementary schools in their caps and gowns to be celebrated and welcomed home at their old stomping grounds. They were welcomed with open arms. It truly is a special event. It's very, very sweet. And I'd like to thank you for letting me share our spring district-wide events for the 23-24 school year. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Mrs. Herring? Any comments? All right, thank you, Mrs. Herring, for that summary. We'll say it again. Still examples of the learning experiences that occur in the Lenore County Public School system. Chair recognizes Mrs. Frances Herring to present an update on the end-of-year state assessments in Lenore County Public Schools.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Yes, testing and accountability is right around the corner. This is the testing schedule for second semester. It begins May 22nd with our 3rd grade reading EOG. May 23rd, our 3rd graders will take their math EOG. May 24th, our 5th and 8th graders will take their science EOG. And May 29th, our 4th through 8th graders will take their reading EOG. And May 30th, our 4th through 8th graders will take their math EOG. And the 8th grade math only will be on 5:30. And then for our high school exams, May 30th is our English 2 end of course exam. Now early colleges, theirs is earlier, it's May 13th. And May 30th through June 15th are the end of course assessments and CTE post assessments for all other courses. And May 13th through May 17th is the early college high schools EOC assessments and CTE post assessments. So we are in full swing and preparing for our exams every day from here on out. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
And we will have our early college graduation this week. As you
This
know,
Wednesday.
we're looking forward to it Wednesday night and LCC's Thursday night.
Yes.
Any questions for Mrs. Herring? Any comments? All right, thank you, Mrs. Herring, for the update. We hope that all students are successful in the end of the year testing. Chair recognizes Mrs. Amy Jones to present the Career and Technical Educational Local Application for the 2024-2025 school year.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening. Tonight, I'm submitting for your review the CTE local application. This application must be submitted to NCDPI in order to receive and use state and federal funds for CTE programs and services. CTE programs include PRC 13, PRC 14, and PRC 17. Successful applications will yield approximately $3.4 million in program funding and positions. The local plan and assurances certification are attached for your review. I'll return next month to request approval of the plan. This plan is on a 2-year cycle, so this year is the newest cycle of this plan, so there'll be revisions from the last year's plan. Are there any questions?
Any questions for Mrs. Jones? Any comments? Okay, thank you, Ms. Jones, for the presentation.
Thank you.
Please review before our next regular monthly meeting. If you have any questions, please contact Mrs. Jones. The Career and Technical Educational Local Application will come before the board for action at the next regular monthly meeting. Chair recognizes Mr. Brett Williams to present the North Carolina School Board Association's Policies to Lead Schools policy revisions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The North Carolina School Boards Association has submitted policy revisions, recommendations through the Policies to Lead the Schools PLS subscription in response to recent legislative action. The policies are submitted to the board tonight for study and review with action to be taken, proposed action to be taken at a subsequent meeting.
Any questions for Mr. Williams? Any comments? All right, thank you, Mr. Williams. In your review of these policies, if you have any questions, please contact Mr. Williams. These policies are submitted for the board study with action to be taken at a subsequent meeting. Chair recognizes Mrs. Helen Hooker to present the March 2024 and the April 2024 financial reports.
Thank you and good evening.
Good evening.
Presenting for your review for this evening are the March and April 2024 financial reports. The reports summarize budget and year-to-date activity for all Lenoir County Board of Education funds as of March 31st and April 30th, 2024. Additionally, the report presents the local current expense fund balance as of the same time periods. If you've had a chance to review and you have any questions, I'll be happy to address them for you.
Any questions for Mrs. Hooker? Any comments? All right, thank you, Mrs. Hooker.
Thank you.
We will now move to the action portion of the agenda. Chair recognizes Mrs. Helen Hooker to present Budget Amendment Number 5 for the 2023-2024 fiscal year.
Thank you. Budget Amendment Number 5 is being used to revise the working budget of the Lenoir County Board of Education to reflect changes that have occurred throughout the fiscal year. If you've had a chance to review the amendment and you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them for you.
Any questions for Mrs. Hooker? Okay, thank you, Mrs. Hooker. Is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to Budget Amendment Number 5?
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Anderson. To a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Cash. I have a motion by Mr. Anderson, a second by Mrs. Cash to approve Budget Amendment Number 5 for the 2023-2024 fiscal year as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 7-0. Ms. Hooker, please incorporate the Budget Amendment Number 5 into the financial records.
Thank you.
Chair recognizes Mrs. Helen Hooker to present the proposed planning budget for the 2024-2025 fiscal year.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to add that we, as the board members know, we had a series of subcommittee meetings last week and among board members here, and we've been in touch with the county manager's office and communicated about the same, and we'll be submitting this, if approved, we'll submit to them tomorrow. And we do thank them for giving us flexibility to do so and not having to call a special meeting last week. The general statutes say that we have to submit by May 15th, and we've always done it by May 1st, but they allowed us to have flexibility in submitting tomorrow. So we appreciate that, and I wanted to say that publicly. But the subcommittee, all the subcommittees unanimously approved the pieces of the budget and then the whole budget proposal that you see in your packet tonight. I want to say that before Ms. Hooker gets started.
Thank you. So presented for your approval is the planning budget for 2024-2025. The planning budget is based on estimated revenues and recommendations from the budget committee meetings. If you've had a chance to review the budget and you have any questions, I'd be happy to address them for you.
You do see a significant increase in a request for local appropriation of $750,000. And that should really help us with fund balance to offset the costs of the increased costs. Every time there's a state raise, we have to match that locally, and the cost of benefits has increased exponentially. And we're very thankful for the raises, and we hope they continue from the state level. But it's for locally paid people and federally paid people, we do have to match that, and we do. So that is a cost to us. So we feel good about that proposal, and we're submitting it tonight for your consideration and hopefully your approval, and then tomorrow we'll submit to Manager James and to the Board of Commissioners.
Are there any questions for Mrs. Hooker? Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Hooker. Is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to the proposed planning budget?
So moved to approve.
Motion by Mr. Woods. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Anderson. Motion by Mr. Woods and a second by Mr. Anderson to approve the proposed planning budget for the 2024-2025 fiscal year as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, Chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 7-0. Mr. Williams, as you said, please present the proposed planning budget to the Lenore County Board of Commissioners. Chair recognizes Mrs. Helen Hooker and Mr. Charles White to present the proposed Apple Digital Lease Purchase Agreement.
And I'm on there too, Mr. Chairman. I wanted to, and as is Adam, to verify review by, if needed, by Tharrington Smith and the attorneys there. But we are submitting this lease agreement to you tonight, and we have had it reviewed by council. It is pretty standard to what we have seen before, and we are getting a few more devices. We have a few more laptops figured into the mix. We had some that were not on the lease. We've put them on the lease. But we feel that this is a good and a fair deal from Apple Corporation. It's the same timeline of implementation that we have had. Deal reached now, devices ordered, devices received in the summer, deployment as soon as possible. And then Apple is working with us on making the first payment due after the reselling of devices, and that usually allows us to make the first payment from the reselling of the devices. And we're running about 30% of initial value, initial purchase value after a period of 3 years. And that's one of the great things about these Apple devices. They do retain their value. And that's not a slight against any other brand. It's just what we found to be true over and over. And this is about our 5th lease with them. And it's worked well, and they've been true to their word, and we are receiving 0% financing. And as y'all know, in the financing world, 0% doesn't really exist right now. So Apple has had to buy down that lease to that amount as a promotional thing. So we're thankful for that. And Charles and Helen can speak to the particulars of individual devices that we're getting, but it's largely the same as what we have had, only they're upgrade, the newest version of the devices and the same types of cases and all that. So we're very pleased. Our payments will be about the same, but we're not getting lesser devices. We're getting as good or better and more of them. So Ms. Hooker, Mr. White.
I just want to first thank you for this opportunity. As always, it's one of those things, our one-to-one program, not only is it just a shining beacon in Eastern North Carolina, but in all the state. There's so many school districts that moved to one-to-one during the pandemic. But as Mr. Williams says over and over again, if you look at our track record, if you look at the fact that, they announced on a Saturday we were closing schools, on Sunday we met, on Monday we distributed, on Tuesday we were teaching. If you look at those, if you look at what our students do every board meeting that we have and what they showcase to you, it's become such an integral part of the instruction and education with the Lenore County Public Schools. And one of those meters that, back when we first started this conversation of one-to-one, one of the goals of the board that you had was to close that digital divide with our students. We are a poverty-stricken district, and these are one of those items that elevates all of our students. No matter what school, no matter where they live, all of our students have the opportunity from kindergarten through graduation to take home a device that they've never had before. And you don't find that everywhere. You don't find our program everywhere. You don't find our DLSs, which to me is the real success of our program. You just don't find this. And I thank you for the opportunity that you have for us to even present this to you as an opportunity.
And every school, this is embedded in every school improvement plan, and all of our schools have, if you will, skin in the game because they have funding that they've dedicated. It's always been 21% And it might be more, it might be less moving forward, but at least that much they've committed from their school-based funding to this. And they love it because it means that they're not out having to buy devices with their own school money. They know what to expect, they know what to plan for, and they know every 3 years they have a new device. That teacher has the laptop and the iPad, the kids have the iPad, and it's handled for them. So they're very enthusiastic about it and very appreciative of it, so we're pleased with it. Mr. White, supply streams have been, inventory streams have been a real problem in the past, during and since the pandemic, but we've been told that shouldn't be a problem now. Is that correct?
That's correct. So during the pandemic especially, you may remember we were initially on 2 leases. We had to push off a lease during the pandemic because we really just could not get any devices into the United States. So many places were closed, so many factories were closed.
The chips, it was the chips.
Over the years, that has shrunken. We're to the point where we're back to normal supply, so it should not be an issue getting our devices in.
Right. And it will go from here, if you approve it tonight, it'll go to our commissioners and they'll do a resolution. Our attorney's drafting that updated resolution for them. It'll go to them for their approval, and in talking with county manager last week, I believe, and certainly the commissioners can review it, make their decisions, but they've always been very supportive of our digital learning initiative, and they recognize, as we do, that it's one of the strongest things we have in LCPS, and I do expect them to continue to support that. I hope that they will, and I think they will.
All right, board members, are there any questions? Mr. White, Mrs. Hooker, Mr. Williams, or even Mr. Mitchell? Okay, thank you, Dan. Appreciate it. Is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to the proposed lease purchase agreement?
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Smith. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Wiggins. We got a motion by Mr. Smith and a second by Mr. Wiggins to approve the proposed Apple Digital Lease Purchase Agreement subject to the agreement of the Lenore County Board of Commissioners to authorize sufficient funds for the lease purchase agreement as presented. Did I state that correctly, Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 7-0. Mr. Williams, please notify Apple and the Lenore County Board of Commissioners of this action. Chair recognizes Mr. Nick Harvey to present proposals for bleacher replacements at Kenton High School and South Lenore High School.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, board members. A request for proposals was published on March 5th, 2024 for bleacher replacements at Kinston High School and South Lenore High School. Lenore County Public Schools received 3 bids for these projects prior to the established deadline. The respondents were Southern Flooring, Mastercraft, and Learning Environments. Attached is the RFQ document as well as the responses from the vendors. We asked the board to approve our recommendation for Learning Environments to be the selected vendor for these ESSER-funded projects.
And board members, please know that these are all based on safety assessments. There's nothing on regular routine replacement cycle here. We're way beyond that. These are safety needs assessments here. In fact, Ms. Cash can tell you, I believe she was at that game, the bleachers actually broke at South Lenore High School. Scary situation, and they've been managing it beautifully. Kinston High School, they're safe to sit on, but they're on borrowed time. So we're glad to be able to do this, and we'll be leveraging ESSER money to do this, and we've gotten approval to do so. So we're bringing it to you tonight for approving the vendor.
Which vendor did you say?
Learning Environments.
Any question for Mr. Harvey? All right, thank you, Mr. Harvey. Is there a motion, a recommendation or a motion pertaining to the bleacher replacements?
Motion.
Mrs. Cash? Motion by Mrs. Cash. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Smith. Motion by Mrs. Cash and a second by Mr. Smith to approve learning environments for the bleacher replacements at Kenton High School and South Lenore High School as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 7-0. Mr. Harvey, please notify the learning environment of this action. Chair recognizes Mrs. Frances Herring to present the alternative accountability model for Lenore County Learning Academy for the 2024-2025 school year.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and board members. The State Board of Education grants alternative schools permission to choose an option from the alternative schools accountability model. And there's a memo attached to this section for your explanation. This model provides an overall rating of progressing, maintaining, or declining for alternative schools, which is based on 20% persistence, 20% school achievement, and 60% student growth. LCLA has successfully chosen the alternative progress model since the State Board of Education approved the alternative schools accountability model in 2014. Ms. Stephanie Smith, principal of LCLA, would like to continue with option B of the alternative progress model. The recommendation is being made that the local school board approve LCLA to continue with option B, the alternative progress model for the 24-25 school year. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Mrs. Herring? All right, thank you, Mrs. Herring. Is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to the alternative accountability model?
I make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Wiggins. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Cash. Motion by Mr. Wiggins and a second by Mrs. Cash to approve option B, alternative progress model for the Lenore County Learning Academy for the 2024-2025 school year as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 7-0. Mrs. Herring, please notify the State Board of Education and Lenore County Learning Academy of this action. Chair recognizes Mrs. Frances Herring to present fees, fines, and charges for students at the elementary, middle, and high school level.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Every year we ask your approval for our fees, fines, and charges at the elementary level, at the middle school level, and the high school level. And we're presenting them tonight. They're attached to board docs for your review. The only elementary and middle school have all stayed the same for several years. There's not been any change. And the only change that we have to note is in the high school for athletic events. Instead of up to $8, it's up to $10.
And we did take this to our subcommittees last
did.
week, and it was unanimously approved to come before you tonight. It's just the cost of doing business has increased so dramatically.
It is.
And our schools will work with the obvious concern is about families who go and have so many children there. And that's a very real, a high hurdle. But our schools are going to work with the families and with the cards, purchasing the cards, the multi-game packs, the pre-sales. And we're at one school last year with the $8 price tag, we were selling pre-sales for $6 a piece. And then multi-purchase discounts and everything. So our principals are solidly behind that, and we're pledging to do it, but we're just actually going to be going in the hole. I mean, all costs have increased.
Any question for Mrs. Herring? Thank you, Mrs. Herring. Is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to fines, fees, and charges? Motion by Mr. Anderson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Cash. We have a motion by Mr. Anderson and a second by Mrs. Cash to approve the fines, the fees, fines, and charges for elementary, middle, and high school levels for the 2024-2025 school year as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 7-0. Ms. Herring, please notify the schools of this action.
Certainly will.
Chair recognizes Mrs. Frances Herring again to present out-of-state school field trips requests for South Lenore High School and North Lenore High School.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I respectfully request 2 out-of-state field trip requests. One is from North Lenore High School from Miss Sarah Casey for the FCC LA National Conference. Y'all, they're very excited to be going to Seattle, Washington. Students will gain leadership experience while networking and learning with other FCCLA groups throughout the nation. This trip, is scheduled for June 28th through July the 4th. Can I present both of them and you can do them in one motion, or would you like them separately? Okay. The second trip is a request by South Lenore High School by Miss Ng and Beverly Key. It's through the Migrant Education Program. It's for 2 students He'll be visiting Salisbury, Maryland, to tour Salisbury University and learn more about the university's College Assistant Migrant Camp that assists migrant students enrolling in their first year of undergraduate studies free of charge. And respectfully ask that these two students travel with Mrs. Stephanie Ng, Miss Key, and their parents on May 17th through the 28th to Maryland. I mean, actually, it's that shouldn't be the 28th, it's the 18th, the 17th to the 18th. I respectfully request these to be approved.
Any questions for Mrs. Herring? Okay, thank you, Mrs. Herring. Is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to the school field trip request?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend we approve.
Motion by Mr. Woods. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Cash. Motion by Mr. Woods and a second by Mrs. Cash to approve the out-of-state school field trip request for South Monroe High School and North Monroe High School as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, Chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 7-0. Ms. Harry, please
Thank you
notify the
so much.
schools of this action. Is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to closed session?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Illinois County Board of Education go into closed session under North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11 to prevent the disclosure of confidential personnel files, to consult with the board's attorney in order to preserve the attorney-client privilege, and to consider matters relating to the initial employment of an individual employee.
Motion by Mr. Anderson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Smith. Motion by Mr. Anderson and a second by Mr. Smith to move to closed session. Any discussion? Hearing none, Chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion will carry 7-0. We are now in closed session. Thank you.
That makes my eyes.
Okay, Chair recognizes the Monroe County Board of Education is in for personnel. I myself need to recuse myself from the voting on personnel recommendations. I have an immediate family member on the personnel recommendations. Mr. Anderson.
I too must refuse because of family.
All right, so myself and Mr. Anderson have recused ourselves. Anyone else? All right, is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to the monthly personnel recommendations?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Smith.
move to approve the personnel report with addendums.
We got a motion by Mr. Smith. Is there a second?
Oh, let me second that one.
Second by Mr. Wiggins.
Yes, sir.
Motion by Mr. Smith, second by Mr. Wiggins to approve the monthly personnel recommendation with the addendums as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 5-0. Ms. Heath will please notify the employees of this action. Mr. Williams, anything you'd like to say?
Thank you, board members. Let me know if you're planning to attend the, if you haven't RSVP'd already, the graduations this week at the early college and LCC, and I'll notify the principal so he can recognize board members in attendance.
All right. With no further business to come before this board, is there a recommendation or motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Mr. Anderson, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Smith. Motion by Mr. Anderson, second by Mr. Smith to adjourn the May 6, 2024 regular monthly board meeting. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries at 7-0. Meeting is adjourned. Everyone, please stay safe.